Raise hell and praise Dale. We're here. We're ready to go for the final race of the Plate Race Series. And as you guys really let me know in the comments, you guys wanted a Dale Jr. tribute car. So that's what I did. We got the Redneck Jesus Appreciate Nation Junebug Dale Jr. Special, ready to go racing for the final time in the Plate Race Series here at Daytona. So this is the point situation. We've got Bain and Vickers as our chief competition. Pretty much, if they finish in the top 10, we need to finish 3 positions ahead of them to either tie or win the championship. The tiebreaker would go to the man with the most wins. Of course, both Bain and I have 1 win each, and I think Vickers has a win as well. So generally, you don't want to tie. Otherwise, it's going to go to the next best finish, which I don't know if I have that or not. So we're coming from the back at Daytona. We've got the power of Redneck Jesus. Let's see if we can put it in victory lane here at Daytona and win the Plate Race Series. So here we come down for the green flag at Daytona. We got old Mikey Waltrip just ahead of us. He's a friend of the Earnhardts.
Hold on.
You know, he's going to be nice to us, hopefully, anyway, as we're getting ready to go, and we are going.
Okay, let's go. We got to step it up.
Here at Daytona, we're going to get a few cheap, easy positions off the start here. Not take any crap from Jeb Burton, and somehow the game didn't penalize me for that, but screw it. We got up into the pack, and that's what we need to do, otherwise we're going to lose the draft real quick. So we work all our way into turn number 1, in behind J.J. Yaley. We got Michael Annette, the threat, just behind us, and underneath Michael McDowell as well. A little bit of sparks going on into turn 2, and now working down the back straightaway. Trying to get in the little space there. Didn't quite work. As McDowell's going to sneak in there. The spotter's saying get to the bottom, but screw that. And now we're going to get a really good run in turn 3. Look down to the insides. 2 lanes of traffic here. A high lane and the low lane. I'd like to get into the low lane, but nobody's really down there. Now Michael Annette's going to move to the bottom, as well as Jeb Burton. So they're going to give me a little bit of help working down into turn 1, as Burton's going to give me a shot. And Witt going down. And so now we are very much in the thick of things in the pack here. In behind Cole Witt, underneath Chase Elliott, one of Dale Jr.'s old Xfinity drivers, and of course in the Napa colors that are so synonymous with this kind of era that the throwback is to, as there was a slowdown in the middle of the pack. Cole Witt was very slow for whatever reason, and we ran into the back of him. Hopefully we didn't lose the draft because of that. We thankfully have Jeb Burton just behind us. Not sure what happened there. Why on earth Cole Witt had that trouble, but no damage to the front of my car, so it's all good at the moment. Also, you may notice I'm in a Chevy for like the first time ever in this game. That's because I felt like we needed to be as accurate as possible with the throwback, and therefore we needed to make it a Chevy. So we got Jeb Burton still making moves behind me. We're just outside of the pack right now. Looks like Michael McDowell is going to help us get back up into it. We got a big head of steam coming up behind McDowell. We'll give him a shot. Down into the tri-oval. Keep pushing him. I suspect everybody's going to go fairly slow going into turn 1. And we'll be able to get back up into the pack here in just a second as we shove McDowell into turn 1. And here we go. Well over 200 miles an hour, sparking the car on the apron. But look at this run we have. So Hamlin leads the race. I know Hamlin has been in the points before, as we're going to try to make it 4 wide. We are going to make it 4 wide. Nowhere really to go with it, though. We got underneath McDowell, and that was about as far as it went, and now we're going 4 wide. Absolutely going 4 wide. Oh, things are getting very crazy here in the pack. Allmendinger's behind us. Yaley's to the outside. And Casey Kane just decided to try to kill David Reagan there. It didn't quite work out for him. And we set the fastest lap of the race right there, which is interesting.
Car 2 back.
Oh, boy, howdy, that was close. This is some insane plate racing in the final race of the plate race series. It's finally living up to its promise as we're going to get into Casey Kane just a little bit more.
He's still on you.
A little bit of side drafting action going on. 4 wide racing down here. Holy smoke, look at this. They are 3 wide all the way up at the front of the pack. Casey Mears has moved into position. There's Trevor Bayne, who we have to battle for the championship here as we give a shot to retired Kenseth there. 4 wide in the tri-oval. 4 wide in the tri-oval. I cannot believe we're making this work at Daytona.
Very impressive.
Generally, you're not allowed to go 4 wide. It usually doesn't work out very well, as it almost did there with Keselowski and Newman.
Car right behind you.
We keep giving shots to Almirola down the back straightaway. We're trying to get the focus on the Smithfield here. There goes Jimmy Johnson in the top lane. We're actually underneath Ralph there. That's an interesting thing to look at. Look at this pack. Holy cow. Okay. We need to start paying a little more attention. So tandems have started forming. We've got Regan Smith and Jamie McMurray and Casey Mears and Denny Hamlin. And now Almirola gets shoved to the outside. So we'll come up in behind McFlurry here and give him a shot down the main straightaway, and I guess we'll go up into the lead here. Sure, why not? Ooh, that was a little bit closer than Murray.
Keep it low.
So we've brought McDowell all the way up into the lead pack here, which is kind of funny. All the way up to the front. So now let's be the Pied Piper Daytona.
On your bumper.
Just wait till that Smithfield car makes this move. We're definitely going to move down low here in the corner. Moving up, moving down, blocking all the lanes of traffic. In front of the Smithfield car. Just hold him off. Just hold him off. We got a lot of cars to hold off. Almirola looking to the inside, now looking to the outside, now looking to the inside. We blocked McDowell as well.
Just keep doing it.
Whoa, way up the track, we shoved McDowell. Whee! Oh, God, they are 4 wide. They are 4 wide. We got to block 4 lanes of traffic now. Are you kidding me? We are absolutely being the Pied Piper, though. There's no doubt about it. We are definitely doing the justice to this Dale paint scheme here.
Right behind you.
As we are just blocking the entire field, just weaving dangerously all over the track. Now Allgaier makes a move to the outside. I couldn't quite keep him behind, but I think we've got a good chance here on the bottom of the track with Logano helping our momentum here. Now we'll get up in front of Almirola, in front of Logano, side by side with Allgaier and Smith.
All right, you got him.
And now we'll get a really good draft off of Allgaier. Get some momentum. Almost crashed with Almirola there.
Nice.
It is getting wild, wild, wild here
Right
at Daytona. Just a little bit of lane changing there. Again, the pack all up my trumpet here.
Still with you.
So we're just going to hold off these 2 lanes of traffic. It seems like Logano's seriously got the momentum now at the moment. Allgaier working back to the outside. He shouldn't be there. Stenhouse has got to run, though, so we'll go up and block him. Holy cow, look at that. Woo! You thought about it, didn't you, Logano? Now who's doing the blocking now, Joey? The shoes on the other foot. That's a reference to Talladega. Dale Jr.'s last shot at a victory. Whoa, look at this. Whee! Uh-oh. That was a mistake. Yep, we got turned. We saved it.
Okay, let's go get him.
Almirola didn't. There's a car on top of it. Oh boy, that was a big crash. That was a huge crash. What happened here? There's some contact. More contact. There's Almirola hitting the wall, and it just is a conga line of destruction there. And just several cars taken out. And then we have a little more wrecking going on there. A little bit of Hendrick on Hendrick action, and Jimmy's stuck on the banking. And Mikey Waltrip was about to T-bone him. Alright, 2 tires and fuel. The whole field's coming down into the pits, so it's all good, even though the side of the car is a bit chewed up. So we'll get back out there and get back to racing. So we fell all the way back to 13th, but we are still in the pack, so it's all good.
Just take care, everybody.
We're all good, especially being on the bottom. That's the place to be. So here we go. to racing.
Job today, buddy.
As we get in behind Austin Dillon here, the 3 car.
Here's a second ahead.
So I guess that's a good thing. It's a sign. It's a sign. Oh boy, Vickers very slow on the inside there, all by himself.
Got one behind you. Go up high.
He of course is one of our championship rivals, as we are going to give him a little bit of trading paint going on there. We tried to run in behind the 3 car, and the 3 car wasn't very fast, so now we'll get behind Ralph himself.
Still right
Get a really good run down the back
We're
straightaway.
on the inside.
In behind inside Boyer, 4 wide.
Into the pit. Stay down.
In behind Danica now. I heard there's a car coming into the pits. It might be Danica, but it doesn't matter because they're going to wreck again. Maybe. They're 4 wide out in front. Doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to come into the pits this time around. That is for certain. Now Clint Boyer giving me a shot down the straightaway. The 15 car and the Dale Jr. Budweiser car are back together again.
He's still on you.
As we are just going to hold off 2 lanes of traffic once again, and we're right back
Still
to
right behind you.
the good old
On your
days.
bumper.
So this time, let's not get wrecked as we're trying to keep Kyle Busch behind us. We're not maintaining our lane very well, I can tell you that. Now Busch going to give me a shot down the back straightaway. We've got Vickers and Labonte. It's an interesting top 4, to say the least. As we work off into turn 3 and 197, certainly nowhere near the 205 or 207 where we were earlier in this race, getting runs down the back straightaway and into turn 3. But look at this. Anybody coming into the pits? Yeah, 1 car in the back is coming into the pits. Not sure who that is, but they have a terrible strategy at the moment. So we're going to keep Vickers behind us. Vickers is the championship rival. You've got to keep him back there. Otherwise, the championship
Still with you.
may not be ours. However, we are, I think, ahead of him in the championship standings.
Still right behind you.
No, he's ahead of us, so we need him to fall a couple
line with
positions
you.
back, actually. So we're going to work with Carl Edwards here
On your
and
rear.
try to get Vickers back a little bit, even though we've still got a long way to go in this race. 3 chicken
behind
tenders
you.
car in behind me. Trying to get that job done to
He's
the
still on
inside, and now Vickers is falling back, so that's good. Now we've got to block 2 lanes of traffic once again. And it's turning into 3 with Tony Stewart moving up the middle.
Doing great. Nice and steady.
Vickers still
Everybody's
maintaining
way
that
back.
outside lane as we got a car coming up out of the pits. We're going to find out who made that mistake and not pitting under the yellow. Oh no, it's Mikey! Oh, well, rip Mikey. At 39th and last at the moment, because I think there were about 4 cars that got taken out in the wreck. So there you go. And we're getting shoved by Allgaier here, so that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Car right behind you.
Now down to the bottom, in front of
Still with
again Allgaier, just sparking the car a little bit again on the transition. A couple more cars in the pits. So I don't know why they stayed out. That was a bit silly of them. 'Cause we're going to keep
Still behind you.
positioning in front of Blaney. Now Annette is moving up into this fight. Wow, look at that blocking.
Got a car closing on your
This is
outside.
a grade A blocking. Danica Patrick is one of the cars
Good
that's
low.
coming out of the pits. And Josh Wise, I think, is the other one. He's going to work the 51 up the track, and Josh Wise is going to
Watch your rear.
LePage friggin' Blaney. Oh, Dale. That's not Dale. That's Jeff Gordon.
Car tucked in behind you.
And we are going to go 3
Good
wide
delay today.
for the lead
On
here at
your
Daytona. We're in the old sucker
Still with
hole,
you.
which is going to be a major problem, as Michael Annette is going to make it 4 wide for the lead, and I didn't appreciate that, so we'll say screw you, Annette. We've now got the 3 car working up behind us, giving us a shove. I don't know if we led that lap. It was awfully close. It was awfully close.
Car in line with you.
And now Jeff Gordon's here, and the Trevor Bayne is starting to
Okay,
show his
behind you.
strength once again. He is
Still right
into the
behind you.
inside of us. So Bayne right now would win the championship if the points were as they if the points were calculated as we finished. Bayne would be the champion. But it's so friggin' close right now as we're going to try to shove Gordon down to the inside and thus also shove Bayne down low, which we managed to do. We got Gordon to the bottom lane, which put Bayne back several positions, which again is what we wanted to do. Keep Bayne at bay. As Annette the threat making a move to the outside. Trying to get there, not happening yet. Annette so very close though, as we aren't even halfway through this race yet, and there's a yellow. So what happened here? Danica Patrick and Kyle Larson, and then Larson hits into Kurt Busch and spins around. All right, we're taking the opportunity to do a full service 4-tire and fuel stop, also doing the slight bit of repairs that are needed to the car. All right, so we will restart 18th on the outside. So in lap number 20, about to get back to the green. I will say this about Larson's crash is that I rarely ever have seen the AI crash by themselves at the plate tracks in this game. So that was a very unique thing that just happened. Aside from them going into the pits, of course, where there's a lot of carnage. But that was just a racing incident there. So we're back to racing. And we are kind of in trouble up here, so we're going to sneak down because there was a nice space with Mears and Gordon between, or in between Mears and Gordon. Now we'll get a run down the back straightaway. Let's see what kind of momentum we can generate here as we work underneath the top lane. And we have to back out of it because Blaney took that space away from us behind Kenseth. Bane is up at the front again, so again, it's going to be the championship going to be decided by where Trevor Bane finishes in relation to me. It seems like Vickers hasn't really been involved in this battle for a while. And of course, it could be somebody else out of left field. If we have trouble like that, not sure what Paul Menard is doing. Well, there we go. There's the wreck. So Paul Menard was just shoving me. I don't know what he was doing, but then he just turned me into the wall. Bane was involved. Vickers got through it until Ralph got spun in front. I don't know how that happened, but look at the pile up that caused. We were very, very close to getting knocked out of the race in that crash. The engine was almost red. Thankfully, it did not knock us out of the race, so we will live to fight another day. All right, so we're restarting in P39, so we've got to get up through the field once again, otherwise we're going to lose the draft. That's not what we want to do. Yeah, thanks, buddy. All right, here we go. Racing once again at Daytona, down to the inside of Josh Wise, and also to the inside of Kyle Busch. We almost and did get spun out by Kyle Busch. Oh, boy. So, yeah, just at the end he hooked me. And we got turned into the wall. And then we ended up turning Kyle, so at least he took a little bit of problems as well. Well, suddenly this Daytona race has turned into a wreck fest. Car is a little bit damaged on the right front there, but on a plate track it shouldn't affect us too badly. Here we go.
Okay, behind you.
Racing once again here at Daytona. This time being on the outside, hopefully we'll have a little less aggravation getting around people as we work to the center between Wise and Biffle. And now Trevor Bane just ahead of us. Now Bane would win the show. Oh, well, we're going to wreck Bane and take Cole Witt out again. That's the second time he's gone into the wall in this race on a restart. But we do have the draft behind Logano, so let's build up some momentum here. We try to catch the pack, but the problem is Brian Vickers is now leading the race. So Brian Vickers is looking like he may be the champion at the end of the day.
Good pace. You're doing good.
So very, very interesting happening
R1 back.
right now. Keselowski goes into the lead. I don't think he's scored points in any of the rounds at the moment. As we get in behind Kyle Larson here.
Still with you.
Working down to the inside. Really getting a good run here. So that's a good thing. Keselowski in the lead. Let's try to build up some momentum as we go underneath Ralph here. Try to work to the inside of Larson. That was maybe a mistake. Just stay to the inside of Larson because they're going to, well,
Car up top, just looking.
wow, that was close. That was really close. You saw my momentum versus Larson's momentum. I got run into, or I ran into him because he was going fairly slow. And now Mikey tries to spin me out. I kind of had to block him there. Ralph will get down in front of me. So we'll give old Ralph a little bit of a shot there.
Still behind you.
And now a big run, 202 miles an hour.
On your rear.
And behind the 3 car. So Menard leads the race. Menard is in the points hunt. So I'm not sure if he can win the championship as we give Dylan a nice, good shot there. As we are 4 wide.
Looking outside.
Down the main straightaway, or down the back straightaway.
Need to get that position back.
You got to yield the position. Apparently, now we've gone into the yellow line, and there's a wreck.
Get that back.
Well, we're not going to have to.
Yellow.
Rip Austin Dillon. Well, we made big contact here. Ryan Newman is going to get the lion's share of this problem. Ooh. Knocked out our camera. So we can make it to the end of the race, I think, with this pit stop. That's what we're going to try to do, to not have to lose it on fuel strategy. All right.
Awesome job, guys. Great teamwork.
Here we go. 11 laps to go. We race for a championship now. Larson just ahead of us. We are on the inside, so we know that there can be some trouble. We gotta clear the move if we make it.
Let's do this now.
Going down to the inside, not quite.
You got this. Nice work, man. Got a car
We bring
behind.
the speed up. Looks like there's a little bit of issues going on up top there with Blaney. Thankfully, nothing too serious, and we'll keep racing here.
Clear up top.
We get up into 4th gear, not have a nice run behind Larson. We get slowed up just a little bit, just based on the momentum of how things were going there.
On your bumper.
Now we'll try to get a run down the back straightaway. Stewart giving us a shove. Aerodynamically, of course, he hasn't really touched me. Bernard leading the race. And now I'm behind and at the threat. A little bit of a slowdown mid-pack here. Everybody's kind of bunched together. Almost contact with Keselowski there. And behind and at the threat.
R3 back.
Working down to the inside. He blocks Tony Stewart quite heavily. And now giving Kyle Busch a shot. That was a mistake because now we're in the back. We're underneath. Where we really don't have any help.
You're outside.
Got a nice big run in behind Tony Stewart here. And we'll move up the track just in front of Larson. Got turned into the wall just slightly. Not exactly where I needed to be.
Got one behind you.
Did I just hear a car heading into the pit?
You don't need to block. He's going to draft with you.
Who's going to draft with me? That's the only problem with the spotter in this game. It doesn't tell you what car is doing what.
Car closing on the inside.
Ooh, that was close. Okay, now who's coming in? We gotta yield the pit.
You can't pass below the yellow
That was
line.
close. That was so close. All right, so who do I have to yield
Take the
to?
drive through this time around. Watch your outside.
All right, so I guess there we go. There's my yield position.
First is leading by 3
Well, we lost a
seconds.
ton of spot. We
Nice,
lost a
nice,
ton of
clear.
track position there,
Let's go to work now, buddy.
trying to
Come on.
avoid the wreck that was inevitably about to happen. So we're back to 29th. Kurt Busch leads the race. And we have to score some points, otherwise we're completely out of the
Car behind.
running for the championship.
Car on your rear.
Regardless of where the rest of the field finishes.
Watch
Only
your
the top
rear, he's
10
coming
score
up fast.
points. There should be some more stops happening. We've still got 9 laps of fuel in hand here.
Car right behind you. Nice and easy. Just keep doing what
It's
you've
just
been
going to
doing.
be a question now of whether or not we can make it to the end and get everybody else.
He'll nudge you.
Well, I don't know the answer to that question as Blaney gives us a nice shot working off into turn 1. Now Blaney falls off quite a bit. Quite a bit. Why'd he fall off so much? Get back here, Blaney. We're going to be in trouble now because we're going to be all by ourselves, all by our lonesome. Nobody around. And Bain leads the race.
There's a 5-second gap between you and the leader.
What a shocker that is. Exactly the driver I didn't need to be leading the race is now leading it. So Labonte and Burton go into the pits. We gain those positions.
8 to go.
The only thing I can kind of hope for is that they, the guys on the bottom here, LePage the field. That's the only thing I can kind of hope for here. As Bain comes around and picks them up, actually, which is not a good thing. Looks like they LePage the field because it looks like Bain's pulling away. The problem is, Bain got
7
through it.
seconds
The
ahead
rest
to
of the
lead
field
car.
clearly got slowed down. And they are now in a ginormous pack. But I am not involved in that pack, so that's very disappointing. So you got more cars pulling off the pack.
Just be smooth.
Looks like Bane may be all by himself now,
Car
though.
in front's heading to the pit.
That's an interesting proposition.
Keep digging.
As we move up into 18th spot.
7
We've
to
got
go.
half a tank of fuel here and 7 laps to go. Now, even if we have to take a pit stop at the end, we can just get a splash, while everybody else will more than likely do 4 in fuel, because that just seems what the AI want to do in this game. But it's gonna be tough, I can tell you that, to win this championship from this position. It's just going to depend on whether or not our rivals have to come into the pits or not, and can we score points. We have to outpoint Bane and Vickers at least. And right now, Bane is staying out as Edwards comes into the pits, gains us another position. But again, we need points positions, and we need a lot of them. And we need Trevor Bane to not be able to make it on fuel. This is all it's gonna come down to a fuel mileage race here in the Plate Race Series, assuming it stays green. As we are at 189 miles an hour, I'd love it if we could just catch some other guys. It seems like we're catching up kind of to not Trevor Bane, Josh Wise up here, but we're just not catching him fast enough. We are starting to catch up, though. Well, I spoke too soon. It seems like maybe David Gilliland up here is a car we are catching, and now Bane is up in the pack, or at least in a pack. So that's unfortunate. We gain a couple more positions there, up to 15th spot. So 5 laps remaining in this one.
First is in front by 8 seconds.
And we're 8 seconds is the gap to Bane. And we've got a tandem coming up behind us of Blaney and Almirola. So we're going to have to try to keep them behind us. Otherwise, they're going to blow us off here.
He's charging.
Yeah, very nice. All right, so now we have a little bit of drafting help. Something we've needed for a while, and we've finally gotten it. Logano is not even on the lead lap. More cars peeling off into the pits. We've got 5 positions to make up. Almirola is going to give us a shot here. And are we going to move up into the points? Not yet. Almirola going to keep giving us help down the straightaway here. And working off into turn 3. Danica's the next car we need to pass. Danica, who I thought made a bad strategy call earlier in the race, somehow has gotten back on the lead lap and is running 11th. And everybody else is at least 7 seconds ahead.
Behind you. He's still on you.
You give Harvick a shot there.
Got one behind you.
Gonna try to get Harvick moving here. Nope, he's not going to move. So up, and now Almirola off into the pits. Bane still stays out. Vickers is now ahead of us, but Vickers pulls into the pits. So we've got 3 laps to go. Bane still has not come into the pits. Bane has extended his gap to 10 seconds.
Made up on the driver in front. Way to go, buddy.
We made up a second, as you heard, on Danica. But again, is it too little, too late?
Car 3 back.
Here comes Harvick in behind us. Can he give us some help? We are catching Danica. So I think she's out of the draft. And now Jimmy Johnson is taking the lead. So I don't know if Bane is still out in the lead group. But again, we need to win it. We need to win the race now. There's no choice at this point. Larson is definitely in the pits.
2 to go.
And Bane is in the pits. 2 laps to go. Do we have the fuel to make it to the end? And do we have the points over Bane? And Vickers, no! Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, shoot. So here are the race results. Tony Stewart has won the race, his first win in the Daytona 500. Johnson was second, Kane was third, Keselowski, Patrick, Larson. Bane did finish in the points, therefore Trevor Bane is the plate racing champion. Chase Elliott, Jamie McMurray, McDowell, Busch, Kyle, and me all out of the race, despite the fact that I had the fastest lap of the race. But friggin' Kevin Harvick, being dirty as always on the plate tracks, takes me out. So you can take a look at the rest of the point standings, or at least the top 10 in the point standings for the Plate Race Series. So we can officially say that Trevor Bayne is the best plate racing driver in NASCAR 15. So thank you guys so much for watching this. This has been David Land on YouTube, and we will see you in the next video.